Welcome to another episode of Tech Throwback, where we explore the quirks, challenges, and breakthroughs in vintage tech development. Today, we'll dive into a fascinating project that attempts to bridge the modern internet with classic Macintosh systems, specifically the implementation of an SSL-TLS library for the classic Macintosh OS using Mbed-TLS. Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about bringing secure communications to tech from the late 80s and early 90s. To set the stage, let's get this straight. Classic Mac OS, which thrived during the golden days of computing, has limited support for modern encryption technologies. Picture this. You're tasked with not only making this ancient system connect to the secure web, but also dealing with compatibility issues from decades of advancements in programming. Quite the challenge, don't you think? All right, so let's break down the project. The coder behind this port aimed to launch something akin to an Instagram for vintage digital camera enthusiasts, all while maintaining compatibility with the quirks of the classic Mac OS. Just imagine trying to log in, posting beautiful images, and browsing comments, all while ensuring that data remains secure over HTTPS. There's a lot of work ahead, but the vision is exciting. Now, initially, if you wanted to bring Mbed-TLS to a classic Mac, you would need to navigate a myriad of historical hurdles. The original library was written for C99, while the Mac's compilers were notably stuck in C89, C90. This meant everything had to be reshaped. Think of it like fitting a square peg into a round hole, but with a little more creativity. Let's talk about the actual nuts and bolts. The port is based on Polar SSL, a predecessor of Mbed-TLS, supporting various cryptographic functions. The key here? It manages to implement the foundational components necessary for TLS 1.1, including some basic cipher suites like AES and SHA-1. As the project unfolds, there's potential for expansion into TLS 1.2 and better ciphers, but ingenuity would be required to make those happen. Now comes a funny but relatable part, the entropy issue. What's entropy, you ask? Well, in cryptographic terms, it's about randomness. The more you have, the stronger your encryption. The classic Mac OS is notoriously weak when it comes to creating random numbers. So, how does our intrepid developer solve this dilemma? They crafted a custom system that draws randomness from a mishmash of sources like clock ticks, mouse movements, and even the time it takes for a screensaver to kick in. Unexpected, right? But many nerds might empathize. Who says math and nostalgia can't blend together? Switching gears a bit, let's talk debug logging. As if building something complex isn't enough, space limitations on text boxes in classic Mac OS create intriguing challenges. Our developer creatively bifurcates the debug info, showing it on the screen while also saving it in a file. There's something satisfying about seeing the logs of all those handshake processes and TLS communications on a vintage screen. As we wrap up, here are the key takeaways. 1. Bridging old and new. It's possible to connect vintage machines to modern tech, and there's a thriving community around retro technology. 2. Reinventing the wheel. Modifying code for compatibility with older compilers is a significant task, showcasing patience and skill. In unlikely places, finding innovative solutions to technical limitations adds a unique flair to programming challenges. This dialogue illustrates not only the technical challenges faced, but also the sheer joy of experimenting and bringing new life to classic technology. So what do you think about the intersection of vintage tech and modern requirements? Would you take on such a project? Join us for our next episode as we explore more adventures in the ever-fascinating world of technology.